leadership itself is already tough. And then what comes along with great leaders is how do they make decisions? How do they move their organizations from a decision making process from A to B, to mitigate risk, to mitigate exposure, and to protect the global image, the internal image of the organization. So decisions that leaders make are is very critical to the success of the organizations in which they lead. And so I want to take a look at one recent decision in 2016. Wells Fargo was hit with a big, huge account scandal where employees were open up multiple accounts in customers' names, sometimes without their permission. They also open up accounts in former customers' names, deceased customers um, of that organization. And so, what was happening? Wells Fargo had this big initiative around going for great, or each customer was required to, or they want each customer to have 8 products of their products. This could include a combination of mortgages, customer loans, consumer loans, student loans, CDs, checking accounts, saving accounts. It really didn't matter. The bank felt like, hey, if you're going to bank with us, you should have all your banking in house at our office. And so, going through the decision making process, Wells Fargo was able to kind of gather some information. Their problem was, hey, how do we compete in a shrinking economy with some of the online banks, the big four competitors, and so this model of cross selling came to mind, and so this is where they got in trouble with. And so what led to the cross selling scandal was, in my opinion, was the toxic environment that it created. You have one um, side of the spectrum who was following the rules and was calling HR and not doing open up the fake accounts, but then you had the other side of the spectrum, in this toxic transactional environment, who were getting rewarded, who was getting promoted, who was getting financial rewards because they were able to meet the sales goals and going on trips that were paid for by the organization. So kind of the root cause of the problem was this transactional toxic environment that was created because you had team members wanting to hit their incentive goals, not only for the financial gain, but sometimes simply to just keep their jobs so that they're able to provide for their families. You had managers and not leaders, and I think that's one of the fundamental problems, that you had managers that who were not able to coach or develop team members and accurately how to profile their customers to see if they needed a product or service. You had managers that came in and that took the information from senior leaders, which was, hey, we need to increase our cross selling, and those managers at the front line just simply told team members, hey, I need you to get XYZ by the end of the day. And so the environment became very pressure cooker like, if you read in the some of the news articles about what happened. And so transactional, the leadership or transactional decision making is gift and exchange is, hey, you do something for me, I do something for you. But in terms of working environment is, hey, I'm going to give you these lists of expectations and either you meet them, and if you can't meet them, this may not be the organization for you. And so, one of my biggest critiques with what happened with Wells Fargo would simply be that times will change. You have to increase diversity, was because diversity helps be innovative. It teaches you how to, or can help you solve some of those issues of how do we attract more customers to compete with our competitors. Um, my critique would be that you need to hire leaders who are able to coach transformational, or leaders that are able to thrive in situational leaderships. The dynamics of the workplace have changed due to technology. We're no longer a neighbor to neighbor economy. We are a global economy. We do business in different countries. I think you have to build environments that are culturally sensitive to all people, and make your environment open. One of the recommended differences, again, would be follow down the path of transformational leadership of how do we tap into our current employees and make them buy into what the organization is doing, not only from a financial standpoint, but what they're doing from a community standpoint? What are their corporate social responsibilities? I've come to say that team members who care about the organization or know that the organization cares something about past finances and making a profit, you have those team members are more engaged. So you have to tap into getting your team members engaged, and I think that's the key to success. And so one of the big to kind of recap everything, Wells Fargo had a transactional leadership theory model. After reading a newspaper of making some leadership changes, I think they're going more towards a situational and transformational leadership where they're tapping to the skills and talents of their current team members, bringing in some new innovative leaders that will help push the organization forward in the 21st century. And that'll be all. Thank you.